You
On your
have
mark?
Rocker, Furby as Rocker.
Yes.
Perfect. And three, two, one, playing it.
Starting out this game, heading into the green bookcase. Started with a drink in hand, so we're going to have to finish that off before we decide to rip this book out or anything. But we haven't really been on camera to be acknowledged at this shelf yet. And we are taking this green book away from the shelf as well, towards the left side of the venue.
Heading into the back conversation to work on Flirt, and we may see this book dumped into blue. We go for the Flirt into Stop Talk, 51%.
Yeah, David W. was mostly focusing on the left and right sides of the venue, so only caught a glimpse of Furby walking away from the green shelf.
I'm glad that you mentioned the sniper's name because I completely forgot who the sniper was for a moment, or just hadn't thought about it. David W, I feel, is extremely good at flirt pairing. All the times that I've played him, I feel like he just flirt pairs and kills me, no matter what I do to try and stop it in terms
Yeah,
of. I will
and
try
we
to
just
flirt.
see that.
Yeah,
Yeah, we see that highlight right there
yeah.
very quickly.
He's really good. I mean, I was trying to go across conversation and just do flirt. The only time I was really beating him is when I just left flirt out of the equation and didn't flirt at all.
Yeah, I mean, and that's going to be a deadly highlight. Doesn't hit the second green test flirt, so that's only 85%, so we're going to have to do it one more time. That's only going to confirm David's suspicion.
Yeah, hopefully Furby has done some research to know that David W's flirt pairing is, I would say, probably the best in the game that I've personally experienced. So if he did, then he knows he's got a flirt at the end of the game, and hopefully the ST comes to us and it's not right up next to us.
Right in front of the yellow shelf. ST does go to that yellow shelf, but it doesn't look like we want to put it back there yet.
Did we double read at the window there?
Yeah, by the looks of it, yes.
We break idle animation to leave that convo.
ST heads into center statue, so we can't exactly join her there yet, but it would be a pretty strong flirt pairing to join her there anyway.
Yeah, are we
Uh,
thinking this is going to go into yellow? It does look like we're going to step into. We're not going to step into yellow case. Okay. Thought we were there.
yeah, Furby hasn't made a lot of mission progress since that highlight. Potentially saw the laser movement and read it. Now we're into the yellow bookcase with the green book.
Laser burning on us. David W. contemplating the shot here. Maybe looking for the microfilm animation. It looks like we're possibly waiting for the animation there. We're going to get away with the transfer.
Shot isn't coming off yet, but we haven't done a whole lot besides that 85% flirt, and that is probably what David is waiting for to confirm the suspicions. But we are in conversation with a suspected double agent right now. Only a minute and a half left on the clock, and it does not look like good pace to finish missions here.
Yeah, we're just not in a position to get a mission complete unless we kind of burst here towards the end, with which as a highlight is going to be rough. However, I mean, there's a lot of highlights, so we're going to blend in a little bit more.
Yeah, David W taking some lowlights on the right side of the party, and we get a walking bug into center statues here. And that is enough.
Was the bug? I don't think the bug. He wasn't looking at the bug at all, was he?
The bug was completely off screen. David was taking lowlights on the rightmost conversation.
Right. That's what I thought. I'm checking the replay now. Yeah, it looks
So
like he just was very much onto him and did not like the center statue. And just looking at the layout of where the amba is in reference to center statue, he probably figured that he took a bug when he was off camera, anyways.
yeah, I mean that's still a shot for a two flirt, a bug, center inspects, and probably a credited microfilm. So
David W is scary good. Furby also good, but David W scary good. Let's see what he's gonna do on a spy here. We'll have him on Irish in
yeah,
3, 2, 1, planet.
not necessarily heat seeking anything to start out here. A lot of people will go for the early flirt, but we're waiting for the ST to bounce around.
Now, I like that I get the opportunity here to cast a David W. set and especially watch Spy from his position because I've always liked that note that I think I heard from Morning Track, or I think it was Morning Track, maybe it was Ponoob, that people um, like to play Spy in the way that would beat their own sniper. So I always try to keep that in mind as I watch someone spy. You know, if I think that they have a particularly unique, interesting, or good sniper, I like to watch their spy and see what they do.
Yeah, we had a red test flirt and green purloin at that rightmost bust pad. The list is just gone now. Orange dress is the taker.
Yeah, and we're on the other side of the convo. I wasn't watching too closely on the red flirt. Was the red flirt at all on purpose to make it look like they green purloined and walked away, or does it look like it was just an accident?
I think it was just an accident. It was at the bust pad on the right side. I don't think Toby was over there yet.
Okay. Good control by Furby here to not take too many lowlights on the purloin. And we do get banana bread to go off, taking some lowlights here on the right side of the party. A lot of snipers.
Does get that low light on General who is taking the drink, so that's an extra valuable low light there.
Yeah, good pickup. A lot of snipers, especially kind of newer or in the lower divisions, will, I guess, overreact to purloin and take some lowlights of people that they don't think could have been it, and that can just really, really hurt your sniper play. I'm more in favor of if they get the purloin by you and you don't know who it was, then they got it. And don't take a bunch of lowlights because sometimes they, cross to the other side of the venue and you don't notice and you lowlight the spy.
Yeah, David W just took an innocent drink and the selection target is at the blue shelf and we still have 0% progress, so we're gonna avoid that for the time being.
Yeah, it's a very, very interesting kind of juxtaposition of David W.'s early flirt pairing, and then what does he do? He doesn't flirt at all.
Yeah, I know some spies kind of beat themselves up over their own play, thinking like, "Oh, catch this, so surely my opponent can as well."
Right.
Uh, Finally stepping into center statues to get the first flirt there, 34%.
Yeah, 34% weight, a drink in hand, which is going to give us enough time to start our inspects once our ST is leaving. So we should be able to three inspect on a 2-cycle here as long as we hit the appropriate action tests. We do also pick up a flirt, but it looks like the timing doesn't work out or he's not willing to risk the required green test at the very end there. So we're going to get half of our inspect complete, but we're going to have credit that we have all three, which is not terrible because you can almost look AI-like to go back to statues after you seemingly already have inspect complete. So it's more of just a timing thing that's really going to hurt us.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing that's going to hurt here is that we have 75 seconds on the clock and 34% flirt. Luckily, the ST joins us at the window, and we're up to 85%.
Yeah, we'll take that up to a quick 85. So we can finish inspect, we can finish seduce. What's our fifth mission going to be? We snuggled up next to the Amba as they were both walking there, but no bug comes off. Not sure what this conversation is for. Possibly a frame swap on Sari?
Running out of options, 45 seconds on the clock. We are stepping into the statue immediately, which is actually
Premature.
Yeah, you can't be swapping this. This isn't a swap, a green swap for Sorry, but
Oh,
the
wow.
shot's coming off on her anyway.
Wow. It seems a little bit of a hasty shot here. I'm going to review it after I update scoreboard, but that's going to be another point for David W. So
Yeah.
Up 2-0 on Library. Let's take a look at do you know what Sari had done throughout that match?
I don't exactly. Oh, she was the list taker. That's what she had done.
Oh, wow.
So good target ID there to swap for her, but
Wow, I
bit
wonder.
of a misplay doing it so quickly after she leaves.
Yeah, do you think that David W knew that? I'm going to take a look here. He purloins, he leaves. Let's see if he even looked that direction. I think that may have been luck on his part. He does actually look over there and he sees that Sari has a drink as Toby's walking away. He didn't see the actual take, so it could also maybe look like it was Duke. But nonetheless, yeah, I'd be interested to see if David W, if that was intentional. Nonetheless, it's a good swap target. It's someone right there at the end of the game you kind of need it anyways. But after that, what else did she have? Just fast forwarding through the replay here.
Yeah, I'm curious if she
She
had a first statue visit.
No, it doesn't look like it. Let me double check again here. So she takes the drink, she picks up the highlight, she stays in that conversation for way too long, does a little bit of redirect, hangs out near a green book window, heads over to a conversation by herself for a full idle, walks over to the side of the venue, bounces, redirects to the other side of the venue, idles by herself again. She has nothing. I mean, she's done nothing but waste time and that's her first and only statue visit. I
Yeah,
mean,
I mean, after the BB and Purloin especially, I think I saw FurbyFubar's laser like shaking a lot to take the BBs. I'm wondering if
I
that's
saw
just
that.
nerves of just like I missed Purloin, I gotta like stay calm here. I gotta get these low lights, I gotta stay composed. And then just taking a bit of a hasty shot on the list taker there.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if the laser shaking was just an aspect of how they aim or if that was actual, if that was us observing nerves here. So let's see how Verby pulls out this next spy game as general in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Starting out next to the ambassador, we are general. We should go for a walking bug. We do get angled a bit towards or away from the ideal angle there, so
And
it could have been seen.
yeah, we did go for the bug, but didn't stick.
Taking an early flirt here. We're next to another character who's not our seduction target, but that comes at the cost of the white flirt being 31%.
Oh, and you think that standing next to someone else and flirting would throw David W off, but I will tell
Absolutely,
you, it doesn't.
it does not.
He knows.
Yeah, flirt pairing is a tricky art because there's so many combinations of people that could be flirting, and
It's
you're
a
just trying
lot.
to pick out the one that matters.
It's a giant web of connections that constantly is changing and evolving, and you have to find the pattern of what's kind of reoccurring. I'm sure if we were to practice it a lot, it's something that we could probably all get down, but it just seems unfathomable to flirt pair to the degree that David W does on top of everything else we have to track. Though I'm
And
sure
we have
that's
a lot
how
of
we all felt about the game when we first started with everything.
oh yeah,
So
a lot of statue highlights to start out this game. I think that uh, not even
Banana bread.
this is a big fake conversation here on the right side. Not a whole lot of people with real contact from what I saw over the laser pan.
yeah, and we get some lowlights on the statue goers. We also we left that conversation pretty quickly, and it was on camera. And I think we broke animation. We were behind pillar, and he was kind of mid swipe, so I doubt it was seen. And it does look like the sniper is favoring kind of the right side of the venue, watching for that purloin at the moment. Your voice is cutting out a bit.
Oh, sorry. We were in the same conversation that we started in, roughly the same position for another white flirt up to 59%.
Yeah, I'd like to see a little bit more mission progress. I'm not a fan of the banana bread going off so early before we have really anything else done.
Yeah, I've thought about if I should start waiting later in the game to do, like, just find a good BB chance, but sometimes you just don't get that.
I still think it's worth that risk. I mean, if you're gonna take a bad, if you're worried, I think it's a bad one by definition to do it early. So you're trying to decide between a for sure bad one now or a potential bad one later.
Yeah,
You still there? Hello?
hello?
Yes,
Okay.
I can hear you.
Yeah, my seems to be.
Getting robot voice from you for a bit. And while we've been talking, Furby has not made much mission progress at all. Hanging out in an innocent conversation, we've got contact and 59% of a flirt. We do a watch check and no time ad. Drink's going to be offered. Possible bug option there that likely wouldn't have taken. We go for briefcase and redirect off. We're in a position now where we're really not going to be able to finish.
Yeah, this is our second bookcase as well. There's only a minute on the clock, and we've really just got to accelerate here or let the time expire.
Yeah, your options are burst out and do a ton of missions and look really obvious, time ad or frame. Looks like we're going to pick the time ad route. We're going to go with the questionable decision there. We did a time ad into an innocent watch check. If you got away with one time ad and you're going to be seen checking your watch again right after, you may as well just go for a second time ad.
I feel like it
I think
may
he
have
meant
been
to.
noticed. There was some sort of laser reaction. I think Salmon was at the statues there, so potentially watching for the swap here.
Heading back in to finish up Flirt, I imagine we're then going to dump this book into yellow afterwards. Only at
Salmon's
92.
being... He goes in for another statue visit. Extremely suspicious. We gotta dump this book, and honestly... Oh, that's a highlight. We get highlight for being in that conversation again, potentially.
Yeah, and
Other white has time ad.
I think the highlight also, just for being extremely active, you look at General now and you just see him walking everywhere. He's in and out of conversations, he's back and forth everywhere. Time ad was noticed, we just took a low light onto Salmon, Duke, possible fake low light onto General as we mouse over but don't change his status. And we're putting the book back in green.
Yeah.
You don't have time to do this.
Not only do we not have time for it, but we might be getting suspicious for it if David W doesn't know where this book is from.
Yeah, it's one of those things like picking up a briefcase that doesn't have fingerprints on it. You're assuming the sniper's not is tracking it perfectly, which just doesn't always happen. Same thing with books. I try to remember all books, and sometimes I have no idea where someone got a book from, and when they're putting it back, you could just think they're getting transfer done. We do go for a green purloin.
There's 15 seconds left on the clock, and we're not going to have enough mission progress to send this into overtime.
No, we're hoping the list is taken and it nets a civ shot, but it looks like the chain is going for a bit longer. Heading into the bus statue.
Yeah, that's not completing anything, so yeah, running out
List
of
never
time
even
there.
gets taken. So that's going to be a point for David W. again, up 3-0 on Library. And whose pick was Library? Let me take a look at the draft. Library was David W.'s pick.
Yeah, very strong showing. Stared down multiple people throughout that game for potential statue swaps, but just held on all of them.
Yeah, just very disciplined sniper play by David W. there, and just ends up paying off in the end, forcing the spy to timeout. Do you want to try hopping into a private call rather than in this Discord channel to see if it
Sure.
helps with the lag? All right, let's try that real quick. All right, let's see if we get a better connection here.
All right.
We're gonna have David W. on mom.
Let me load up the next game. And ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Again, heading into the left window pad. This was almost an identical opening to last time, letting the ST and AMBA kind of settle down somewhere. We might have an interesting double walking bug opportunity here if Tack catches up to us, but he bounces away.
And we're going for the early inspect.
Yeah, early side inspects picking up, looks like there's several other early statue goers as well picking up highlights.
I typically don't like the early inspect, but it is a good mix-up play. I think it would have been better later in this entire set once you've conditioned your opponent to think that you don't do early inspects. But with this being only the second spy game, I think you're just going to pick up early, threat level and suspicion on a venue where you've got to get 5 missions done. It's going to be pretty rough. You've got to hope that other party goers start picking up inspect.
Yeah, I don't mind it nearly as much as probably most people. I think idling with a highlight maybe can lower suspicion a bit more.
True.
Because you want to be seen doing that. Meanwhile, we have picked up a 32% green flirt from nearly across the conversation. Kind of shoving our way into this one as well.
Yeah, I wonder what our intent here is. Double agent leaves convo. We are going to take a drink. Looks to be innocent. So doing a little bit of what you're saying, picking up the early inspect, and then we're going to be seeing active idling.
Yeah, ST has gone over the far set of statues. We won't be able to join him. It looks like a good time to contact with this large conversation, but unfortunately, one of the SDAs is out and the other has a single person in their conversation.
Yeah, which I think it's just too early in the game for David W. to have strong suspicions on who the SDA is. Where is the real double agent? Over there?
On the far left convo, looks like
Irish.
Smallman is heading over there. No, he's in fact going to statues again.
So that's going to be statues complete for Smallman, who is the ST.
Yeah, it can be
Boys.
good to frame your seduction target on occasion, since you know for a fact that they are not the suspected double agent. We're gonna red flirt him away from the statues. I don't know if there was a visible animation break from that,
Oh, wow.
or if that was intentional.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good play. You're not going to be able to flirt with him anyways because he was in the process of leaving, and by the time that you're done with your inspect, your flirt cooldown will probably be up anyways.
We walk towards the middle of the venue, pick up the briefcase. It does not have a fingerprint on it, unfortunately. I don't know if you can return this briefcase to the ambassador there. His back is mostly blocked,
Doesn't look like
but
it's
doesn't.
punished.
Yeah,
And we're seeing another spy game in which David W. does not make flirt progress for the first, what, 80% of it? The
yeah,
majority of the game.
yeah. We're finally in with the double agent seduction target follows in. Probably gonna go for this contact here, but I think both double agents are out of conversation. We got a green purloin pending as well.
Banana bread.
Yeah, we're at a minute left with not much mission progress, so we're going to... Is that... Oh, that looks like an SDA and a DA in the same convo, but that's actually the SDA picking up the briefcase. So we are going to pick up the contact to distract from this purloin chain here. Hopefully it distracts for long enough. We do see the laser flick over. We come
Yeah,
back. List is gone. No reaction as of yet.
yeah. Meanwhile, Toby walked across the entire venue to offer up that guest list, and we've picked up a flirt up to 49%, so we can finish that with another close green.
We're going to need time, or this is going to have to be very well executed. We also need a fifth mission, which it looks like it's going to be bugged just based on where David W. is going. Furby eyeing down the ambassador.
20 seconds. We're not gonna have time to both get a bug and flirt here. We're gonna have to do something else in the
Civ
shot comes
shot
off on ponytail.
onto, I guess we'll call her Ponytail. Let's take a look. And let's see. Our other, well, let me get scoreboard updated. Is that the second Civ shot by FurbyFubar, if I'm recalling correctly?
Yes, it is. That is a sweep of David's pick.
Yeah,
By
because the
David.
other one was on Sorry. Let's take a look at Alice's, or Ponytail's mission progress throughout the game here. Where is she? So she's early, could be flirting, staying in the convo. She's there for quite some time. She does get a fingerprint. Where is she now? Just fast forwarding through to kind of see what she's done. Back to the same convo. She has spent a ton of time in a conversation, well beyond that of flirting. She did walk by the Amba, so I guess you could credit her bug. Stands by herself, takes another bug path. And, I mean, it could be a really, really late Purloin reaction. I don't think so. But she hadn't touched statues. I don't think she even touched books. At most, she had one fingerprint, bug, and flirt, and I guess maybe contact. So let's see if FurbyFubar can maybe up his mission counting to reduce civ shots here on his pick of Veranda. I've got that loaded up with Furby starting
Yep.
on Oprah.
Ready.
3, 2, 1, playing it.
Immediately stepping into the red bookcase and immediately grabbing a book as well. We're going to see a microfilm cheese. I have to expect. We haven't stepped away from it yet, though.
Yep,
There
we're
we
gonna
go.
take
We're in a conversation.
the red book away, probably put it back in green later, and I just want to say I love Veranda. The more I play it and the more I think about it, I just like the dynamic in the shape, where the sniper has to sometimes choose which side of the venue they're looking at, and they can't see the other side, and it gives the spy a set amount of time until they can be revealed. Other venues like library, you can have that similar design, except the sniper can very quickly just move their mouse to reveal the other side. This is hard locked with the movement speed of the sniper, so if they're rotated all the way around to one side, the spy knows they have a certain amount of seconds before the sniper can get back because you can only move so fast.
We got
Banana
an
red.
early contact coming up. It's pretty good. There's 4 people out of conversation. The whole left side does not have suspected double agents, however, so that could be a large number of assumed real lowlights if taken.
Now, when you see this type of situation where you see a large number of people that don't have real contact, do you commit to memory the number of fakes versus reals, or would you use your lighting here to indicate who had real versus fake?
I normally use my lights for statues on Veranda, which I try to avoid whenever possible. But if I can remember real banana breads, rather, I'd much rather do that.
Okay. That's a long list. Though I suppose if you're not having to remember inspects, which is usually a long list, then it might be a bit easier. We do see Furby drop that red book into green. So far, it looks like it's going to be unpunished.
You say that, but we got some laser movement that could have just been a guest list check. However,
Yeah, we did
uh,
mouse over Oprah on walking away, but I think it may have just been coincidental because we're not really seeing the laser favoring Oprah now.
first flirt of the game comes off. I think that's a welcome change, starting the flirt late against a flirt pair who may already have a flirt theory kind of going for certain people at the start of the game.
Yep, good move by Furby, picking it up from David W.'s spy as well. Working on the flirt kind of mid to late game instead of right off the bat.
Yeah, it does walk away pretty quickly, doesn't want to timer flirt it. I think we're stepping into red bookcase with a fresh fingerprint on it. We're picking up the highlight for it.
How long had that fingerprint been cooking?
I think it was very fresh.
Yeah, we are now 1 of 5 highlights. One of, what, 11 suspects?
Yeah, and our seduction target is one of those. That's going to make that a very visible flirt pairing if we have to go back to it. Ambassador has just put a fingerprint on one of the front statues as a finishing move, but we only got a minute left on the clock.
I think you've got to wait a bit here before talking. After picking up that very new highlight on the too fresh of a fingerprint, you step in a convo and you start talking, and less than 10 seconds on a pretty full convo, David W is not gonna like that.
Yeah, surviving another close white flirt is going to be nearly impossible. We have an anti-tell from white dress there.
Ooh, what was the anti-tell?
The sip cancel. Doesn't seem to have been noticed or acknowledged by David W, so she's still a highlight. We're requesting a drink. We have a bit of cover from the suspected double agent there. It's green. I don't think we've seen a white purloin yet, have we? Only greens.
No, these guys are on top of their action tests for Purloin. We're gonna step into the back statues. Is
The
this the
list
one that had the
goes.
fingerprint? It
I
is.
think, yeah, this is fingerprintable. We're gonna have to. We might have to green swap this one and flirt for overtime. It's just a white swap though.
White
It's gonna be like
swap.
7 seconds of overtime.
We're gonna stand a little bit longer, and we've got a shot onto one of the twins. I'm assuming he must have been the list taker.
The list taker was Wheels, but I think the twin was nearby. Who had also finished presumably inspects and
Yeah, he was nearby.
fingerprint.
I want to review that anti-tell that you were talking about. You said it was due to a SIP cancel. Is it like a SIP cancel into briefcase set down that's the anti-tell?
Yes. So while she's holding the briefcase, she starts a sipping animation, and then without moving, resets to her idle position because the ambassador is walking nearby.
Oh yeah, I see that. And for those unaware, it's an anti-tell because the spy cannot do that. There's no way to replicate it.
Yeah, you could do a microscopic twitch, but AI can do it without doing it at all.
Right. And so that's going to be first point for FurbyFubar. Point
Yep.
on the board.
Uh,
And even though it was a civ shot, I mean, it looked like he may have been pretty close to getting mission complete anyways. We didn't see a rotate from David W. to check the swap at all, so pretty close to getting the mission win as well.
yeah, I would have liked to see even the green swap there, but the white swap seemed to have been effective as well.
Yeah, I'm sure that, I mean, I guess it's not, so often most people want to get the green swap, but I guess with swap sometimes you do really purposefully get a white, but probably just a missed action test, I would think, at the end there. Though you wouldn't want the clock to hang. Nonetheless, let's see what David W. does about it. We've got him on wheels in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Also starting in the left room of the veranda, does not step into a bookcase because we have a drink. It would be more difficult to rip out a book early on. We've got a
What is
voodoo
this
highlight there,
highlight?
except it's just
Okay.
a mistake. Early 51% flirt though. Being respectful and letting the animation play out doesn't walk away and rush the flirt. In fact, ST will walk away from us to take down the cooldown.
Yeah, good start by David W. here. We get an early flirt. ST leaves and goes into statues. So we're probably going to hang out, and I bet he's going to either take a BB or maybe go work on like blue books or inspects.
Wouldn't be the worst time for a contact. We've got a couple of lingering people. We've got one SDA out of conversation.
Yeah, the
But two packed conversations.
the hard part about contact on veranda from like this position is you can't see in the other room, so you don't know how many people are at books and statues.
Banana bread.
We are going to go for the BB split.
We switch conversations into one that unfortunately also has a suspected double agent. So minimal gain there with a lot of risk with the split there. But there were only 2 or 3 people had a conversation, which is not bad at all.
And yeah, I was going to say, are we in range for a bug there? We do go for the bug, but it's not going to stick. We weren't close enough.
Instead I thought we were gonna go for that briefcase, we're not. Instead we're going into the seduction targets conversation.
So a bit of a switch up on David W's spy play here. He does actually work on flirt here in the beginning portions of the game and gets it completed with a 2 flirt. Another green test.
Yeah, and that's gonna free up the plans a lot. 2 minutes left to find 3 more missions. Toby's around, Ambassador has just joined us. We might want another bug as we head into a red bookshelf perhaps. Or maybe statues to start out. Instead we're grabbing an drink. It's gonna limit our options going forward.
We could take a wrong arm or a right armed bug into like We'd have to gulp though. I don't see that coming out. We do go for the wrong arm bug with the drink in hand on the rotate.
Doesn't stay in range long enough for it to take, however.
Right, doesn't look like it was noticed. Not sure about that play there, because now he's locked himself in with a drink for, too long. He's not near any mission sites. He's got to get 3 done with a minute and a half on veranda. A time ad before we hit the 1 minute mark may be in order.
Yeah, I mean, this pace has gotta start picking up. This is intending to be a mission win. But there's about 5 highlights right now, so maybe banking on one of them getting
The question is, has David W. been keeping track of the other partygoers to see who is frameable?
Another BB split there. Looks like 1% conversation, but that person just the ambassador, like in the bookshelf. We're not rewarded for the split either. We're picking up a highlight statues.
Yeah, and our mission progress here is just not on pace to finish. Oops, hit pause there. So we're going to head in for the inspect. Even if we get inspect swap, that's only 4 missions complete. And we are going to then have to either rush in a bug or a purloin, or hope that a civ shot occurs.
Just at this statue, we are green swapping it, so that's going to give us a bit more time, but we still have to find 1 more mission to trigger overtime.
I think it's going to be bug on the pass by here. Here goes the bug, and we wrap into convo with the with the ambassador here to try and cover our arm, but it does stick through quite a bit. Laser sticking on
Yeah.
David W. and takes the shot. I think just a continuous walk there may have netted, not getting shot, because what we see is kind of as we turn into the ambassador is really kind of what's seen. If we just kept walking straight right here and went into combo with Tex, I think we would have been a little bit more kind of well covered, and it may not have drawn the sniper's eye as much as kind of staying and standing near. So going to be
Yeah,
another point for Furby.
Visible.
Right.
Elbow was a bit visible as David W. entered conversation there, and if he had walked by, maybe it was, but he had already triggered it too late if that was the case, or the goal rather.
Right. So Furby kind of clawing his way back on his doubled pick here. So we're at 4-2 with David W. in the lead. Let's see what Furby does on Spy as Blink Twin in 3, 2, 1. Playing it.
Yeah, starting the comeback. Bit of a reverse sweep, if you will. We're halfway through the set, and we've got 5 more games for FurbyFubar to recover if he wants to win this set out.
And we are going to start near our ST this game. Not instantly flirting, though.
49% though, that leaves range for a second green flirt to finish that. And I have to imagine that 2 green flirts is a great advantage over David W. if you can pull it off.
No, he'll still get you. We're in combo with the DA here. We do have a briefcase. Oprah's going to take it.
Maybe eyeing down the party to see how full these conversations are.
Banana bread.
They're decently full, but there's about 6 people at a conversation, maybe 7.
Yeah,
If all those lowlights are taken, that can narrow it down quite a bit.
Yeah, and unfortunately we do knock out at least what I saw, I think 2 highlights.
Yeah, and that actually does narrow down the party quite a bit. Gonna squeeze it next to the ST here. That position might not be appreciated by David W.
Yeah, big flirt chase on a Smallman here. We could wrap up and get the 2 flirt and hopefully go unnoticed. Maybe we're not seen because we're hiding behind Irish. We're going to hit the green test and we have our flirt complete. 2 minutes 35 seconds, 3 more missions left.
Yeah, honestly, being hidden there is kind of valuable because I don't know if we're necessarily being noticed finishing up that flirt.
I would have liked to have seen either a purloin or an innocent drink take to give us a reason to leave that convo, because now it just looks like we entered, talked, and then left. Which just looks like flirt.
Stepping into the red bookcase, it has a very fresh print. The ambassador is still walking away from it.
Deja vu?
Yeah, we saw this in Furby's last game, I believe. But this time we already have the flirt done, so that puts us in a much better position.
And we don't see the highlight picked up onto Furby for chasing that fingerprint there. Innocent
Yeah, minute and a half on the clock. Doesn't necessarily need a time ad, I wouldn't think.
I think
Toby has come up and offered a drink, rejected innocently.
I think they might need a time ad. Because what, are you going to go do inspect sub minute 30? Miss pad.
Yeah.
Bit of a stutter. Goes
Oh,
on screen.
nearby the ambassador who's putting another fingerprint on the red bookcase. Ambassador takes a path behind us, but we don't reverse bug, even though it would have been invisible on the sniper side.
Yeah, I was also on snipe cam. The pillar would have been blocking it.
I have to imagine that we grab this red fingerprint. We're going to let it cook a bit more by the looks of it. We are eyeing down that bookcase.
Yeah, I mean,
making sure
I
that
think
nobody else is going to snipe it.
I think Furby needs to take this red book out, take the fingerprint, and put it in green to bring us up to 4 missions.
Yeah, a lot of idling here, not even talking in this conversation. Getting low lit for going back to red. That's gonna save this game if he can recognize this low light. But that's hard. If it's a fingerprintable book, you must be assuming that that's a highlight.
Yeah, David W. just not tracking fingerprints this time as closely. We are a low light, so are we going to go for this bug? We do go for the plant while walking.
Oh no. there's been a lot of missed walking bugs this game, and now there's 18 seconds on the clock, and you're not gonna want a timeout as a low lane. Not gonna feel good. Oh, we're already down in the set. 10 seconds on the clock. We cannot finish missions. We need to add time.
Does look like he's going to step in to add time here. And Civ shot onto Alice as the watch is checked. Even if she's finishing, when did she pick up the briefcase? Could we not have waited for overtime?
She picks up the briefcase at around 12 seconds, so there would not have been enough overtime to really hold for it.
Wow, that's very unfortunate. That and what kind of watch check was it? Oh, it was a green check, so it would have been a little bit harder anyways. But an unfortunate Civ shot by David W. onto Alice. I wasn't tracking her mission progress that closely. Did she have inspects complete?
Not that I know of. She was a highlight most of that game, though.
So she picked up her highlight at about 2:12. So, and that was on her first inspect. So.
Yeah, she had finished inspects.
She did, yeah.
Presumably finished fingerprint with that shot coming off.
And she did get one briefcase. I think that was her second briefcase. So she had, we'll say, contact, seduce, inspect, fingerprints. Yeah, and then you think, hey, maybe I missed a bug, and it's somebody doing, a soft tail finish right there at the end of the game. So somewhat reasonable shot. You can definitely miss bugs on Veranda. So very unfortunate for David W., especially because FurbyFubar was not in a place to finish anyways. So,
yeah, and I think Furby was the only one who could have caused pending overtime if the shot was held long enough to notice that.
Right.
Nobody was at statues. Nobody was really rejecting a drink except for low lights. And there was one person at windows, and there was a spot.
We'll see if David W. can at least get 1 point on his opponent's doubled venue here as Kane in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Looks like we're stepping into the red bookcase to start out here. Haven't really looked to acknowledge the sniper's angle, but Furby is on the left side, so we can't exactly rip out this book.
I feel like we've seen a lot of red bookcase action.
Yeah, I think we've seen 4 of them so far, with the 2 combined from last game. We're heat-seeking the ST at the time ad window. We missed the pad a little bit. We're gonna redirect off of it rather than readjust. It was mostly blocked by the sniper's rotation.
Yeah, lucky for us. That could have been death for David W. And we're rewarded. ST comes to us. We're gonna pick up our first flirt for 34%.
Yeah, got the progress in the end. 1 minute has elapsed, and we have a white flirt to show for it.
Now, with Kane's walking bug on the left hand, we could have bailed right there and gone for a double walking bug with Amba, picked it up on the Kane side, and then split to the right next to Wheels so that we're not walking with him forever. May have been an option there. Instead, it just looks like we're going to timer flirt.
The reverse drive-bys themselves on these 2 outer conversations are pretty strong, but they come at the cost of being very exposed, and you're just counting in the sniper not to notice it.
Yeah, I typically don't favor the ones where you're perpendicular to the camera, so you're kind of at the front of it. When you're on the sides of the convo and you're kind of parallel, those are really good.
A lot of focus being put on the right side of the venue here. We could try and sneak in some mission progress as Furby is paying attention to the guest list and ambassador.
Yep, that looks like what we're going to do. David W. notices that the Amba and Toby are not here. I was going to say a swap might be in order. We do go for a white swap and quick leave. FurbyFubar rotating over to the other side of the venue, but vision of the statue still blocked just by everybody walking away. It's now on screen. We've got the zoom. Looks like we're just checking the guest list.
Yeah, I don't think that the swap was noticed, and I don't think even more that anybody was noticed walking away from it. Purloin Green is coming off at this point. Furby has been paying a lot of attention to this guest list, though, so we may be caught for it.
Yeah, but I feel like in this last little bit here is Furby led up on the guest list as Amba rotated over towards the left side of the venue. And we've got a contact to distract. and a really long chain. This is going to be really hard for Furby to take lowlights off of this purloin here, and the chain
Still
continues.
going, in fact. Yeah. 1 minute on the clock, though. We only have swap and purloin done. You don't hear that every game.
Yeah, and we didn't pick up an inspect on that statue visit as we were trying to kind of sneak it in with the sniper on the rotation to the right side of the venue. So we have to get quite a bit done here with not enough time. I mean, you've either got to time ad or just really rush down. Rush down is an option as we're a neutral light and there's only 3 low lights.
Yeah, Civ shot's looking very likely here. There's 5 highlights. I don't know if the list has been noticed yet. We gotta zoom in on it. It's on screen at this point.
And we go for the time ad as Furby seems to be reacting to the purloin here. And shot taken onto Bling Twin. Bit of a panic shot, I think.
Yeah, I mean, especially if that swap is noticed at all, that's gonna add a whole lot of pressure because you just have to credit everyone in the party, potentially with swap, and then you notice the list is gone as well. And I don't know, it just sends you spiraling into chaos.
Right. So we're going to be exiting out of Veranda with davidw in the lead, 5-3.
Good recovery from Furby,
Yeah, not bad.
but has to win out in order to take the set.
Yeah, we'll see how he does as Tex on Courtyard in 3, 2, 1, playing it. And Courtyard a bit debated on whether or not it's sniper or spy favored. I feel like majority of people say it is heavily sniper favored as it's one of those venues where it's simply a tale of the 4th mission most of the time. You're gonna get inspect, contact, and seduce, and then you're deciding between fingerprint or bug as purloin is kind of off of the table with the high viewing angle. However, some people argue that it's not sniper favored and it's either even or even spy favored. So I'm not sure where I stand on it anymore.
Yeah, we're picking up the early 32% flirt. There's a fingerprintable drink that's just been bouncing around for the past 30 seconds, and it looks like it'll finally be taken by Duke. We didn't have enough room behind us for Toby to offer it to us, so maybe would have wanted that, but instead we're just standing in the golden bug range here.
Yeah, we haven't seen, I don't think we've seen any standing bugs take.
Yeah, I think it's mostly just been like entering conversation, walking bugs, but those do have the shorter range than you'd expect.
Yeah, not that many bugs overall throughout the set, I think, right? I don't feel like we've seen that many.
Not many that have taken, unfortunately. There have been several games with them, though. We're up to 64% flirt. We're gonna need a green to finish that off. There is a walking bug. We're highlight for it, and then neutral it. davidw potentially not crediting that bug.
Yeah, there's a bit of visual noise there with Toby and the ambassador both kind of moving as drink is being taken and Toby's, moving around offering and leaving and whatnot. I'm definitely going to want to look at that again in slow motion in the replay. It's not one that I necessarily saw from sniper view, but the path itself was, rather telling.
Yeah, I think davidw has been on the same half of the venue the entire game on sniper side here. I don't think we've rotated around to the Damon side at all.
Yeah, not much of a need to. Sometimes he rotates around to check those other statues, but for the most part, he's got to just stay here and watch the ambassador and the guest list, which have been...
and these conversations are getting packed. It'll be a good time to get contact, especially if you get everyone in the party credited with it.
Yeah, and time is becoming a little bit of an issue. 38 seconds left. We've got the 2 easy missions, left to be completed. All we've got to do is contact and seduce, but we've got to get a bit lucky on our placements here. We're going to head into convo with the DA. We need to pick this up quickly. I do like the instant. It's going to be a white. We're going to be off screen.
Double agent splits from the other conversation, so maybe David not necessarily crediting that to them. We get highlight as we're stepping in next to the ST. There's under 10 seconds on the clock. We have to hit a green test to finish flirt here.
Yeah, we've got to hit green. I do like the patience from Furby. It's going to go into overtime. We're going to pick up the green. 6-ish seconds of overtime. We're going to be seen talking. Suspected swap by Oprah. David W takes the shot, and that's going to be a point for FurbyFubar.
That is a spy win on Courtyard.
There it is. Surprised that I'm very surprised that David W didn't shoot someone for a flirt finish there.
Yeah, we got two somewhat distant timer flirts at the start of the game.
Right.
It's not necessarily being paired there.
Turnip Boy saying he's surprised David W didn't ban this map. Oh, I accidentally started it. All right, let me rewind. We're going to have Rocker. David W on Rocker in 3, 2, 1. Playing it.
All right, David playing for the draw here.
Yeah, if David takes this win right now, he will get 1 marble.
Yes, and then Furby has to win at least 2 more to secure a marble in standings. And then potentially all 3 of the remaining games in order to get both of them, which is no easy feat.
Irish doing a briefcase, and so far we've just got 21%, and we're spaced out from our ST quite a bit.
Yeah, we are in with a couple of other people close by. The SDA is out of conversation, so this wouldn't be the best fake BB, although there's only 2 people out of conversation. Double Agent will not give us the choice anyway and leave our conversation.
Banana bread.
Oh, and unfortunately, Taft joins our conversation. We're like, oh, that's a great time to fake BB. Unfortunately, he is the suspected double agent.
Yeah, we're going to get credited with real BB here, and our mission progress is not looking so great. Though David W has put himself in this situation a few times throughout the set where it looks like he's not on pace, and then really starts turning up towards the end and getting some green-tested hardtails, like Purloin and Swap.
Yeah, we step in with the suspected, or the real double agent, but unfortunately he splits immediately. We are in next to somebody who's Hylet, who we were staying next to early on. We're going for a white test Purloin as Furby rotates around the venue, so we're not being seen taking the list.
Yeah, I hope that we gulp. We haven't gulped yet. I think it may be needed, as I still don't think there's been much of a reaction, and I'm wrong there. Furby is on top of it,
Yeah.
takes the shot on David.
I was not expecting that.
Me either. Bit of a surprising shot. We're going to be heading into the last venue, 5-5. Which is going to be Aquarium, and I believe FurbyFubar's pick.
Aquarium for marbles.
Aquarium
This
for
is
marbles.
FurbyFubar's pick. Certainly capable of making this comeback.
Yeah, Aquarium, a pretty fun venue, so let's see what happens. We've got Furby on, what do you call her?
Teal.
Teal in 3, 2, 1, playing it.
Don't even bring up that propaganda.
You're the one with propaganda trying to change the official name of the character.
We have a voodoo highlight, and this doesn't look like a mistake. 'Cause this
No,
is
that one
sticking.
didn't. Was it? I think it's a bar highlight, and he just didn't. He didn't go to bar. He started with a drink, right?
I don't know. I think was it for a take control path?
I was watching, but not watching super closely. I don't think there was anything wrong with the take control. I think it was a bar highlight, because if you notice, he highlighted everyone from bar, and Furby was walking away from bar holding a drink, so it might just be David W. Incorrectly, assessing Furby as having taken a drink when actually they just started with one.
Yeah, we are seeing continued bar highlights, so maybe this will be bumped down later on.
Right.
We do a little redirect off the briefcase there.
Fake lighting change on Salmon.
If this is a just an actual suspicion highlight, this could be very dangerous for Furby. Early white contact coming off here. It's going to knock out 5 people.
Yeah, the other conversations are just not quite full enough for my liking.
Where was the suspected double agent? Was he at the bar that whole time? I think he was, so there's only like 4 people with real contact.
Right, we're going to switch conversation behind the shark. to join CC with our ST, and we are going to go for the flirt into stop talk, which was very obvious and visible on screen, especially as teal.
Yeah, she does have a very dramatic talking animation, and it looked like there was somewhat of a laser reaction there. It's also only 31%, so that's gonna make it. That's gonna require a green to finish off later.
Yeah, we've really got to start making some other mission progress, and unfortunately, I think inspecting around the 2-minute mark is pretty suspicious on Aquarium. That's kind of usually when people finish up flirt and contact.
Ambassador steps in right next to 2 highlights here. We could go for a Twitch bug, especially with Shark coming out, but we're gonna do a wrong arm egg bug.
Wrong arm leave, it's very visible, but no reaction from David W. Might not have been looking.
Yeah, might not be totally on top of that bug, but maybe also is willing to wait for the flirt. Stepping into first statue visit here, only a minute 20 on the clock. It's going to be hard to get another statue visit and 2 more flirts in.
Yeah, do you think maybe Furby just goes statue to statue?
I think you got to get a flirt in between here. Going for this obligated briefcase, we're going to redirect off of that one as well. Highlight does pick it up though, and the shot comes off.
Oh no.
I was not expecting that. Maybe crediting Disney with that bug when Ambassador joined in between Teal.
Yeah, he could have taken bug. An unfortunate civ shot from David W onto Disney again. Not again, but there's been quite a few civ shots. So that's going to be FurbyFubar securing one of the marbles. Let's see if David W is going to give away the second one or take it for himself. As Alice in 3, 2, 1, playing it. Or sorry, Ponytail.
Sorry, I'm trying to use the casting friendly names.
I don't even agree with it. I don't even agree with the philosophy of. I mean, I understand the philosophy of it. I just don't think that the benefits outweigh the what you lose from changing the names.
Starting at the green bookcase, behind the bottom shark, and we're not going to take out the microfilm, curiously.
Yeah,
but
we're just
going
gonna
to
take
walk
the
away
book.
with the green book, yeah. Take a bit of a bug path as well, but book in that hand if that's being especially.
Heading in for our first flirt, up to 34%.
The laser is lingering on our conversation.
Heading back in, we may go for a bug here on this path away. We're sure to take a very wide path to show the sniper that we're not bugging there.
Yeah, unfortunately the angle just doesn't really convey that very well. So this is an innocent return, but it was a buggy path. Not a lot of progress to show with a minute and 20 going off the clock.
Stepping into middle convo. No ST and no DA in this conversation.
Yeah, perhaps waiting for middle shark, but we just had that opportunity. It won't be back for another 30 seconds or so. Yeah, really just idling this game. Ambassador is a bit threatened in that bottom conversation. Oh,
Civ shot onto Salmon.
that's seemingly out of nowhere.
Well, that definitely looked like Salmon just went for a shark bug. I mean, he goes the exact path you would take for it. Did he have a book in hand there? Let's see if maybe he also thought that that was a different colored book. No, he didn't. But simply for the bug path.
Yeah, he had one statue visit that I can see.
Yeah, bit of a preemptive shot. I mean, I think you've got to wait for. I think in that moment you've got to wait to see what their fourth mission is. Okay, they have bug, they have contact, they have seduce, but they don't have inspect or swap. And I don't, I didn't count his fingerprints, but hopefully you notice at least one. So.
Oh, yeah, there was a bit of a bounce off of the ambassador as he was walking by and possibly got himself credited with a bug there.
Yeah, it definitely looked like salmon bugged for sure. That's you have to credit him bug there, but that's just a matter of, aquarium. You've just got to be very disciplined on your mission counting there too, because it's going to happen a lot. You're going to have to credit bug a lot on aquarium just due to the shark and positioning. So you've just got to really be on top of your mission counting and ensure that those people don't get their fourth mission.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't even contact yet, so it is a very early shot, and he had one statue visit.
Right, bit of an early shot. Nonetheless, a good set. Very back and forth, some unexpected turns, handful of civ shots. But I still think overall a pretty good set to watch. So congrats to
Yeah,
both players. They each pick up one marble.
yeah, very close. Good showing from David and Library, and then good recovery from Furby.
Right. All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up for me. Thank you for joining me, Ligorv, kind of on this
Yes.
impromptu cast.